Alright guys, I'm back again, but I've got a story to tell. This is a story that somebody wants to so badly let everybody and all of my subscribers to know, and I may as well put it out myself. For one thing, I don't know who this person is. He wasn't too much an impression on me because I don't know who he is. But in my earlier videos, the beginning, I told this story. But I'm going to repeat it, and this is for the last time. This troll is not lying. He's not lying. It's true. When I left Ehrenberg, I left one hell of a mess. I did. What he hasn't said, though, is what condition I was in. Christmas Eve, I went to a little gathering, and there was a lady there that was sick, or the beginning of getting sick. She was fixing to leave the next day to go back home because she had just been there a day, but she wasn't feeling well. So that's fine. I really didn't want to go, but I went because it was the right thing to do. I ended up catching what she had, which was a very severe flu. And I have not had the flu in 30 years. Anyway, Christmas Day, I started feeling a little bit, The next day, the 26th of December, I started really getting sick. I mean, really getting sick. At this point, they had told us that we were going to have to leave by a certain date, which I can't recall right now. We had to vacate. So, like I said, I was so sick. I was vomiting. I had diarrhea constantly. I could not put no food, no drink, no nothing in me. I went like this for several days. One of my subscribers on this channel also knew me there. And I want to thank God and thank her that she found me, because I had gotten so weak that I literally passed out. I passed out on the desert floor. And what made her come and visit me that particular moment? It doesn't matter. It's that she did. And she found me laying on the ground, my dog near me. And she helped me get up and get into my van. She got a hold of Gigi, who was on the other side. Gigi didn't know what had happened. And they both came over to try to help me. They called paramedics. Paramedics came out, and they suggested I get to the hospital. But I couldn't go to the hospital because I have my dogs, and I can't leave them. So, anyway, everything that I had, I tried to gather together, but I couldn't. Like I said, I was vomiting and diarrhea, severe diarrhea. Wow, something just fell off the tree. And I was like this for days, Anyway, the day that we had to leave, I finally waved down somebody that was going down the road to please hitch my trailer to my van, because I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I couldn't pick up anything. I was so weak. And yes, I left a lot of junk behind. I did, but I couldn't do anything. And that's something that, unless you've been there, you don't know. I was to a point where I was delusional. When I finally got in my van, which I left my generator behind because I couldn't even pick it up. And generally I could pick it up. But I was so weak that I could not pick it up. And I figured money or live. And at that point, I thought I was dying. Really, honestly thought I was dying. So, anyway, I got in my car, and honestly, I don't know how long I sat in my car. But I looked around, and I saw these men. They were watching me. Do you think one single one of them approached me and said, "Is there anything I could help you with?" No. All they know how to do is troll, but they weren't there to try to help. Lord, no, that would have been too much for those men. So, like I said, I don't know how long I sat in my van. But I finally said, I gotta go. I have to go. That was the exit day. I had to go. So, I started up my car, and I got down the hill there. And I had made arrangements to pick up my blood pressure medication in Parker. So how I got to Parker, I don't even know. I really don't. I don't recall my travel from Ehrenberg to Parker. The next thing I remembered was being in front of Walmart's. And so I guess I don't remember any of it. I don't. I went in and I picked up my prescription and I passed out in Walmart. I don't think I was out very long at that point because I noticed people around me and they were, well, we're going to call paramedics. And I said, no, don't. You got to go to the hospital. I will take myself to the hospital. So they helped me out to my van, and I went to the hospital there in Parker. I went into the emergency room, and they ran some tests. Meanwhile, I was running in and out because I had to keep checking on my animals. I had them right near the entrance of the emergency room, so I didn't have to leave. I just had to watch. And then they said, look, we're going to put you in IV. You have got the flu, and this is really bad. What you have is really bad. And we're going to admit you. And I said, no, you're not. You can't admit me. I said, give me a shot, give me pills, whatever it is, just give it to me because I have to go. But I said, I have to go. I have my animals. I cannot be in the hospital. Well, they did give me a shot. Don't ask me what it was. I didn't ask. I didn't care. Anything to make me feel better. I did the IV, I think, for about an hour. And I checked out and I left. I spent the night in Boyce, in that area. The next morning, I left. I felt a tad better, but I wasn't so delusional. I wasn't so out of my mind. But I got all the way to Buckeye, where I knew there was a recreational area, because I had been there before. That's where I stayed, and that's where I got well. It took me a good 2 weeks to feel good enough to be able to do anything. Aside from letting the animals out and letting them do their business and feeding them and watering them, because I did that. That was my priority. They were my animals. I have to take care of my animals. I started getting better. It took almost a total of a whole month before, from the time I got sick to the time I felt good enough to do a lot. It took a month, at least. 6 weeks to really come back to my norm, except for one thing. I lost about 20, almost 30 pounds. That's okay. I needed to lose the weight. Not that way, but I needed to lose it. So yes, I did leave a mess. I didn't leave it intentionally. I would have never done that. I always pick up after myself and pick up after other people. Like I came here and there was bottles on the ground and there was even baby diapers on the ground here. They couldn't put it on the garbage can. It was right next to the garbage can. Baby diapers. So, no, that's not my norm. My norm is to pick up after myself and pick up after others. You know, you go to a site, and when you leave it better than it was when you got there. So, Mr. Troll, whoever you are, that's my story. And if you want to continue your silliness, you don't know me, you don't know nothing about me. And you don't know what condition I was in. So you can continue, it doesn't matter to me. Now it's my turn to say what happened. And if there's people out there that don't like what I did, well, I'm sorry. But you put yourself in my shoes and you feel what I felt and you feel that you're going to die and you wonder what's going to happen to your animals because you know you're going to die. That's how sick I was, and I have never been sick like that. So, hello and goodbye to you, sir, whoever you are. Meanwhile, my friends, I just wanted to get this out and get it over and done with. I don't need any more negativity in my life. I don't need trolls in my life. So, back to you. I love every one of you. I really, truly do. And I want to give you all big hugs. And thank you so much for listening to my channel and listening to me. And don't forget, like, share, comment, and subscribe.